Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is July 28th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1934, Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods. 1961, the luchador known as Ciclone Ramirez. And last but not least, 1993, Noam Dar. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for July 28. 2007, Karl Gotch. 2020, former ECW enhancement talent, Big Slam Vader. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for July 28th. A short trip in the Wayback Machine today as we start in 1977. Seiji Sagagachi and Strong Kobayashi defeat Tiger Jet Singh and Ueda for the NWF North American Tag Team titles in Fukunawa, Japan. This begins the second run with the belts for Sagagachi and Kobayashi. Jumping to 1980, Killer Carl Krupp and El Mongol defeat Ken Lucas and Ricky Morton for the AWA Southern Tag Team titles in Memphis, Tennessee. Moving to 1983, San Nikiko defeats Ringo Mendoza for the NWA World Light Heavyweight title in Mexico City, Mexico. Moving to 1985, the Cobra defeats Hiro Saito for the WWF World Junior Heavyweight title in Osaka, Japan. This match starts the Cobra's second reign with the title, and he would ultimately vacate it when WWF and New Japan broke off their working agreement. 1986, the Great American Bash Tour pulled into Greensboro, North Carolina, with a main event of Dusty Rhodes defeating Ric Flair to win the NWA World Heavyweight title in a steel cage match. This would begin American Dream's third and final run with the NWA World Heavyweight title. Our final stop in the 80s, 1987, Wendy Richter defeats Monster Ripper, aka Bertha Faye, for the WWC Women's title in Trinidad. This would begin Richter's second run with that title. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge. 1990, the 27th edition of WWF Saturday Night's Main Event had a main event of the WWF World Heavyweight Champion, The Ultimate Warrior, defeating Rick Rude via disqualification. Jumping ahead 2 years to 1992, the Destructors, Volcana, and Tony Arcia defeat Mysterioso and Valdor for the Mexican National Tag Team titles for a third time. 1994, Silver King defeats Black Magic, aka Norman Smiley, for the CMLL World Heavyweight title in Mexico. 1 year later in 1995, Eddie Guerrero defeats Dean Malenko in Middletown, New York to win back the ECW World Television title he had lost earlier in the week in Florida. This show also saw the ECW debut of the Steiner Brothers, who defeated the Vampire Warrior and Dudley Dudley. And last but not least, 1997, Alex Wright defeats Chris Jericho for the WCW Cruiserweight title in Charlestown, West Virginia. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for July 28th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.